Hello YouTube, I'm back with my second video. Today I want to talk about confidence. Confidence is something that I think we all struggle with, whether you're on the spectrum or not, but it does affect us Aspies in particularly. I think that it's probably something like a feedback loop because of the fact that we have trouble making eye contact with people. People tend to not trust us, or they think that we're hiding something or whatever, or that we feel inferior. I think that's how the psychology of it works. And then because we pick that up from the people around us, because we're not making eye contact, that hurts our self-esteem and makes us less confident. So it's a downward spiral. But what I have and what I'd like to share with you today is a way to potentially stop that spiral and breed confidence. And it's something I think anyone can do. It's something that I did, and I used to be really, really unconfident. I don't know if that's a word. Anyway, it is now. It's a word now. So what I'd like to share with you is my 5-step formula for breeding confidence in yourself. Okay, the formula I want to share with you today comes from this book, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And to give you an idea of what the book is about, I'm going to read the blurb on the back. Millions of people throughout the world have improved their lives using the magic of thinking big. Dr. David J. Schwartz, long regarded as one of the foremost experts on motivation, will help you sell better, manage better, earn more money, and most important of all, find greater happiness and peace of mind. The magic of thinking big gives you useful methods, not empty promises. Dr. Schwartz presents a carefully designed program for getting the most out of your job, your marriage and family life, and your community. He proves that you don't need to be an intellectual or have innate talent to attain great success and satisfaction, but you do need to learn and understand the habit of thinking and behaving in ways that will get you there. This book gives you those secrets. And while I'm not doing this video as a promotion for that book, which I guess it might sound like to some viewers, I just thought I'd read that to give you an idea of what the book is actually about in case you do want to go and read it. It's not necessary to understand the gist of what I'm trying to share with you today. I just thought that would be a good way to introduce the book and give proper credit to the person who came up with this idea. Alright, so now that you know where I got the idea from, I'll tell you what the 5 steps are. I'll go over them all to begin with. There's a list, and then I'll talk about each one of them in detail after that and go into the practical application. Oh, and this is my cat. He just wants to say hello. Hello, Renticus. This is your first appearance on YouTube. Say hello. Hello. No, he's not playing. Anyway, the 5 steps are: 1. Be a front seater. Step 2. Practice making eye contact. Step 3. Walk 25% faster. Step 4. Practice speaking up. And step 5 is smile big. So the first step, be a front seater. What does that mean? Well, it means when you're on the bus, you sit up the front. If you're at uni or at school, sit up the front. If you go to a seminar or something like that, in a big room full of people, sit up the front in the front row. It's very hard to do if you don't have confidence. And I know what a lot of you are probably saying as people with Asperger's syndrome, you don't want to sit up the front because, I don't know, maybe you feel like you stick out or it'll make you more noticeable. That may be an issue, and it was for me when I started, because even though I've only known that I have Asperger's for a short time now, I've known that there was something different about me all my life, and I figured, well, I'm going to stick out anyway, and people are going to think what they want to think about me no matter where I sit in the room. But I thought about this, and I really took this on board, because I knew that confidence was something that was going to stop me from getting in the way of my goals. And so I did it anyway. I sat up the front, even though it was uncomfortable and I didn't like it. But it ties in well with the 4th step, practice speaking up. I'll explain how when I get to that step. But at the time that I absorbed this formula, I was actually working for a plumbing company, and we were doing lots of concreting, like for the sewer system. It was actually up in Darwin, in the Northern Territory of Australia. And I don't know, it might sound a bit odd, but the reason that I bring that up is because when I read this formula, I was actually sitting there watching concrete dry, and I used to read lots of self-help and personal development books. because I didn't really like doing that labouring work, and I wanted to get into a job where I was, using my brain. And I didn't really want to go back to university at that stage in my life. I just wanted to try and find some kind of shortcut to get from being in a labouring sort of job where I was working with my hands to working in an office somewhere, or working as a business person or whatever. And I knew that one of the things that was going to stop me was my lack of confidence, because when I looked around the world that I was living in, I saw that people who were in the position that I wanted to be in were confident, unanimously, all of them. And pretty much any business person that you come across, a business owner, a shareholder, or investor, they're a confident person. They inspire confidence in other people. And confidence is something that you do need to get a lot of jobs. You need it to get through the interview process. You need it to be able to serve. So I've digressed a bit there, but I'll get back to the point, and I'll just wrap up what I was saying there by saying that even though these 5 steps are hard and especially difficult for someone who is on the spectrum, I recognized that I needed to be confident to do the things that I wanted to do in life. So I made a decision to do these things, even if it did cause me discomfort, and I made the decision to just block out what other people thought about me. And I sat up the front, I became a front seater, because I could see how it tied into this formula for confidence, and I could see how being more confident could change my life. So I was able to expose myself to something that made me feel comfortable because of the end goal. And I can safely say that it worked. I am in a good position now. I won't go into that in this video. Maybe I'll tell you a bit more about my life and exactly where I am later on. But I'll wrap it up by saying that, yeah, be a front seater. Sit up the front. And if you try it in conjunction with the other 4 steps that I'm going to continue revealing to you, I think that you will be very happy with the results. The second step is to practice making eye contact. This is very important. Rightly or wrongly, people will make judgments about you based on the amount of eye contact that you make. And this could be one of the most difficult things on the list for, an Aspie. I did find it very difficult myself, like the first one. But, I made the decision that I was going to do it anyway, because I had this goal that I had in the back of my head, and that goal that I'm still working towards. And I knew that confidence was a thing that I needed to get that goal. So I was able to make the decision to do this thing, even though it made me feel uncomfortable. And yeah, eye contact is important. You've got to practice it. Practice it when you go to the shops, or if you've got a friend or a family member who you can get involved. Just sit down and have a normal chat with them and tell them that you want to practice making eye contact. I'm sure if they're a loving and supportive person that's in your life, they'll be willing to help you. Tell them that you just want to practice making eye contact so you can be more confident, so you can get a job, or so you can ask a girl out, or whatever. The eye contact thing is a really, really big part of it. Because think about any confident person. Well, look at confident people on TV in the movies, or a confident person that you know. It might be hard to watch them yourself while you're still doing this, but maybe watch a confident person talking to someone else. You might see them at school, or it could be someone within your own family. Watch how much eye contact they make. It is important, and it is, I'm telling you, it's something that you can work on. I used to be really, really bad with eye contact. I would pretty much never make eye contact with people. It is still hard for me. I've had to learn about times in the conversation when it is most necessary, or how much eye contact to make before you start to freak someone out. It's just something that you practice, and if you keep doing it, you get better at it. You really do. And I'm better at it now than I used to be. It's something you get better at all the time. But it's very important, and trust me, you can do it. The third step in the confidence formula is to walk 25% faster. I think this is my favorite step because it is the easiest to do and the easiest to incorporate into your routine. But why walk 25% faster, I hear you ask? It's because confident people, successful people, know where they're going, and they're in a hurry to get there. They know what they want, and they want to get there before someone else gets there and beats them to it. So they walk faster. And just walking faster makes you feel more confident. It's so good. And when I started doing this, I would just walk quickly. I would up the tempo of my pace, and I would think to myself, it's working. I would feel more confident. I could instantly feel it. It's this feeling in your chest, and yeah, it's beautiful. I still do it now. If I'm walking along and I start to feel sad about something, I just think about these 5 steps, and that's something that happens to me a lot. Is if I start to feel down on myself or my self-esteem is dropping, it's like this is a track that is programmed to automatically play in my head, and I list to myself the 5 steps to being more confident, and I get to that one, walk 25% faster. I'm like, yeah, I'm walking faster. I am a confident person. So yeah, that's easy. The easiest step on the list. Walk 25% faster, because confident people know where they're going and they're in a hurry to get there. Okay, so the 4th part is to practice speaking up. And as I said before, this ties in very well with the idea of being a front seater. If you're up the front and you're speaking up, people will hear what you say. And that's very useful at university. And to illustrate this point, I'm going to tell you a story about university. I did the subject statistics. It's a hard subject. A lot of people, struggle with that subject. And because I was sitting up the front of the class and I was answering the tutor's questions and asking lots of good questions of my own, a guy came up to me after class one day and he was like, look, you seem to have your head around this subject. You seem pretty switched on. You know the answers to all the questions that the tutor is asking. And he never would have known that I knew the answers and had a grasp of the subject if I wasn't practicing the 5 steps. If I wasn't sitting up the front and speaking up, putting my hand up, he never would have known that I had that information in my head. Because he knew, he approached me and he asked me to tutor him. And I tutored him, and he went from having failing grades to passing grades. And he actually came and let me know the next year. He said, look, thank you so much for that tutoring you did. You helped me pass that subject. And that gave me the confidence to go on and do more tutoring work. And I've, helped a lot of people to understand maths and statistics. And it all comes back to that one conversation with that guy. And I never would have had that conversation if I didn't put these steps into place. I spoke at the beginning of the video about how there can be a negative feedback loop that emerges between not making eye contact, and then people that you're talking to, they see you not making eye contact, they make a value judgment about you or a judgment about your character, and then their body language or their tone of voice or what they say changes as a result of that switch that's flipped in their head, and then you internalize their change in behavior and you think, oh no, I'm a bad person, or I have lower self-esteem or whatever, and so then you're less likely to make eye contact in your next encounter. And so the cycle starts again, and that's what we call a negative feedback loop, the 2 things feeding off each other. What I've done here for myself is created a positive feedback loop where I exhibit the characteristics of a confident person. Even if I'm not feeling confident, I exhibit these characteristics. I consciously do these things deliberately every day. I think about the 5 steps. And then the people around me treat me as a confident person, and my confidence increases as a result, and then I have more energy to put into these 5 steps for confidence. So that's a positive feedback loop. And I don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for these 5 steps, and especially being a front seater and practicing speaking up. As hard as it is, it will pay off for you if you take it on board and do it. So we're up to the last step, and that is smile big. For this one, I'm going to read something out of the book. Most folks have heard at one time or another that a smile will give them a real boost. They've been told that a smile is excellent medicine for confidence deficiency, but lots of people still don't really believe this because they've never tried smiling when they feel fear. Make this little test. Try to feel defeated and smile big at the same time. You can't. A big smile gives you confidence. A big smile beats fear, rolls away worry, defeats despondency. And a real smile does more than just cure your ill feeling. A real smile melts away the opposition of others, and instantly too. Another person simply can't be angry with you if you give him a big, sincere smile. So, yeah, smile. It's easier than, frowning, it takes less energy, it makes you feel good. And it's another one of those positive feedback loops. People see you smiling and they want to smile too. So yeah, smile big. Alright, so that's just about the end of the video. I'd like to finish by just going over the 5 points again. Be a front seater, practice making eye contact, walk 25% faster, practice speaking up, and smile big. And take my word for it, it really does work. I could not have done half the things I've done in my life, without having taken this formula on board. When you're confident, people want to be around you. They want to include you in stuff. And being more confident has helped me to get the job that I have now and helped me get through uni. And it really has improved my quality of life out of sight. So please, just try these 5 steps and tell yourself you're more confident, and it will happen.